The Ineffable's offer to help Ginny with her investigation and be alongside his dear friend only extended so far as it was between her and him. Likely, she would have been eliminated anyway, right? But we weren't with the underdogs, we were with the populars. There's no telling whether cameras were in that office, or that Rexford might not have found a way to discover that information anyway. The Fame Monster made the choice. That was... just goes to show what he will do to accomplish his dreams. As Rexford said, no matter the cost. Part 3, Reality Check. Chapter 12, Old Scores. Those blank eyes stare at you, the life drained out of them. You feel the blood dripping from your hands, pulling at your feet. It rises higher, flooding, flowing towards the hole in her chest. You try to stand your ground, but the blood current pulls at you, washing you towards her, towards Prodigal, towards the open wound at her core. And you disappear inside, your screams muffled by the blood. As Gigi shakes you awake, the nightmare vanishes. "Get up, the Ineffable!" Gigi shouts, already rolling away from your bed. "The Kulik showdown is happening now!" You sit upright in bed, Gigi rolls back out of the hallway. You have 5 minutes. Rubbing the sweat off of your forehead, you try to pull yourself together and push that dream from your brain. You haven't had a nightmare like that in months. What the slugger triggered this one now? You don't have a spare second to dwell, though. Adrenaline is already pouring through your system, because this is it, the Kulik culmination. As you run towards the bathroom to get ready, you catch a glimpse of Ginny's empty bed. Even 4 days later, you still can't believe it really happened, that Ginny was sent home. And slugger, do you wish you were here right now? Pushing that thought from your mind with all the rest, you head into the bathroom to wash the guilt off. 15 minutes later. Sitting in the Hero Project transport with the remaining final 8, everyone focuses on their medships, whispering words to the friends or relatives approved on their sanctioned contact lists. Taking a moment to look around, you catch a glimpse of... the Crusher screen? I think more so than, like, Jury or Black Magics. Who would crush? Yeah. The Crusher screen is blank. Maybe he doesn't have anyone to call. Turning back to your own meadship, you know that even though it's 4 in the morning, Grandma would want to hear from you before you go into a mission as dangerous as this one. So after offering a particularly rude jab about Ginny's absence, Meadship J2 connects you to Grandma. Thought I'd check. You know, crush, just in case, you know. Seemed reasonable. Grimith, what in the blue blazes? Grandma yawns. She answers your me call. It's still only... It's happening, Gran. We're on our way to stop Kulik now. I see. You be careful, Grimith. I know this is just a 3v show, but what you're about to do, it is most certainly not a joke. I'll be careful, Gran. Listen, I know I haven't called since Thursday night's episode, but no, I am not ready to talk about what you did yet. I'm afraid of what I'll say if we do. Grandma shakes her head, then looks at you, tears set in her eyes. Just remember what you told me. Your parents are watching you. I'm glad we had that conversation. So make them proud to see you carry the Reaper name. You haven't had a spare second to write a letter to your parents, despite all the days, since you learned they are watching you, and you can't bear to think how they might feel about you selling out Jenny. Pushing that thought aside, you look directly back at Grandma and say, I'm doing the best I can. Just beat that slugger and come home safely, Grimith. Grandma answers, looking exhausted. We'll sort out the rest later. You want to say more to Grandma, but suddenly Rebellion himself enters the transport hangar, so you end the me call and sit up a little straighter. Rebellion clears his throat, looking around at the faces of the Hero Project. Final 8. Today we can't just be heroes. Today we need to be legends. Today we need to put aside whatever divides us and come together to defend this city, this nation, this humble people. Today, we show the world why this country is so great. We show them exactly what we have to offer and what we stand for. We show them that we are not to be threatened. You look around the hangar to see if Rebellion's speech is working, and indeed it seems to be doing the trick. Today is the perfect day, 1 day before we rise to elect our new president. And 2 days before 6 of you will become this nation's first roster of truly elite heroes. That's what makes today the perfect day to end Kulik's reign of terror and begin the golden age of the American Protectorate. Listening to Rebellion, you might find his speech boring. It's a camera show. And I think the Fame Monster is starting to have a different view. Well, the different view started in the first book, but now for the first time, I'll be leading you into battle myself. We will have one common goal, to stop Kulik from launching his bioweapon. Kulik is just as obsessed with fame and validation as he is with his misplaced revolution. That's where we will find his greatest weaknesses. It also sounds like an awful lot like her character. I have also assigned solo submissions for all of you to handle first, working towards that goal. We're going to shake and bake, folks. That means divide and conquer. You'll each be responsible for taking down one Infra Order member before coming together to shut down Kulik's weapon. So here it is. Rebellion pulls up a mission schematic on his meat ship, then turns back to the finalists. First up, the Ineffable. You'll be responsible for taking down. 10 minutes later. Smither. He stares at you, fists clenched, pulling his scarred skin tight across his muscled frame. Long time no see, the Ineffable. I never did get to thank you for destroying my life. If you like that, then you're going to love what happens next, you say, taking the opportunity to eye your surroundings. Kulik chose an abandoned rail yard outside of Millennia City to launch his anti-morphing bioweapon. Sounds of other battles rage around you, but you and Smither take a moment to square off. Let's remind ourselves about Smither, yes? The ability to elicit a truthful response from any person he asks a direct question. He is also an accomplished bodybuilder and marksman. It's rumored that he now leaves a trademark bloody S on the faces of all his victims. Okay. I've killed a lot more people for a lot less, Smither starts. But really, I should be thanking you. Working with Kulik, my life has real purpose. I'm no longer the selfish man I once was. I have to admit it feels slugging good to really stand for something. Smither was scary before, but on some level the people who are just out for personal gain are easy to handle. It's the ones in it for their principles who are the dangerous ones. Though you were prepared to face off against Smither today given your history, it will certainly make for great 3v. You really want to be taking on Kulik himself, but Smither is just as heavy a hitter. And you know that the faster you deal with him, the faster you'll be able to move on to the main event. So that's just what you're going to do. Tell me one thing, Smither snarls. How many nightmares have you had about me ending you? You should be having nightmares about me. 3, you say without any intention of doing so. When you remember Smither has the power to make everyone answer his direct questions honestly. Thought so. Well, prepare for all of your dreams to come true. Then Smither lunges at you. I won't have no time to help you without distracting your busted behind, Meatchip J2 says quickly, but you best know that power costs and attack success depends on how much you've been practicing unleashing or controlling those Infinity powers, and twerking those Infinity powers might hit your health if you push it too good. Okay. We're pretty fucking even on that, aren't we? We sure fucking are. Slightly more unleashed than control. I reckon because I'm slightly ever so more this way than that way, that I should be unleashing. So not that. And Gravity Crush sounds more practical than nuclear energy. It sounds like, I have like an intended goal and effect with that. Like, instead of just inventing something out of nothing, let's smash Smither with a Gravity Crush. You focus on Smither's body and change the gravity field around him, multiplying the gravitational pull to slam him to the ground. Cutting loose with your Infinity powers feels amazing, like you're letting out something pent up for way too long. But in the blink of an eye, he vanishes from sight. You spin around and see him suddenly appear behind you, his fist connecting with your jaw. As you stagger backwards, you feel Smither's knee in your stomach, doubling you over. And his elbow comes down hard on the back of your head. Panicking, you let out an energy pulse, hoping to give yourself some space to recover. That didn't sound great. Okay. I see. As you stand back up, you find Smither a few feet away, his skin smoking from your pulse. Oh, no one told you about the state-of-the-art teleportation fluid running through my veins, Smither says, turning towards the nearest camera orb. How did you morons think I escaped Prodigal's blast and killed Madame Weiss? Slugger, that makes sense, but when did... I can't wait to teleport your head right off your shoulders! Smither shouts, running right at you. Now knowing Smither can teleport, how are you going to handle him? These fucking people, their damn teleportation. This damn infra order is full of teleporters. Okay, that doesn't sound great. You might try that trick to fucking appear behind me again or at any angle. Let's use energy armor fighting, I think, here. Do a little bit of power conservation. Like, we're actually having a chapter here where, like, this stuff is gonna matter, I feel. After all this time, the great build-up, after all this shit, all this stupid reality show shit. But here we go. Let's play this one safe for now. Let's study him and figure out a weakness or something. You wrap your body in a samurai-shaped energy shield, placing a long energy sword in your hand. Smither throws another punch. You slice his arm with the energy sword, causing him to jump back howling. Also, he's fighting unarmed, so, you know, why not, right? Unless he does something else. Especially since you lace the armor with your Infini nuclear energy. A move that poisons Smither with every... Oh, I didn't know we were getting that as a fucking bonus. Sweet. Should have told me you were gonna do that beforehand. You're so damn clever, Ineffable. It feels so good cutting loose like this with your Infini powers. Feeling like you're teetering over the edge with your powers. You can barely even feel the headache pulsating underneath all the adrenaline. Yes, power. Yes, poisoning him with every strike. We have a weapon he does not. Smither lays limp over some overgrown tracks up ahead, so you fly forward to make sure your job is done. That's when he springs into action, ripping up a piece of railway track and catching you in the shoulder with it. Holy shit! The rusty metal cuts through your costume, and the force of the blow sends you flying back across a clearing into a brick wall. Lying across the crumbled brick, you struggle to pull yourself together and ignore the pain pounding in your torn shoulder. As you stumble to your feet, you see Smither teleport into the sky directly above you, ready to smash down with a ripped-out locomotive engine in his hands. But you're going to make sure Smither pays for that cheap shot. Let's blast the fucker. He's in the sky. He can't possibly dodge by teleporting again. He can't fucking fly. Blast him. Hopefully he doesn't teleport again. So I can just juggle him in the air or something. Screaming out loud, you generate your strongest energy blast. Ka! Making sure the radius is as wide as possible. The rush of purple surges in the sky like a reverse waterfall, and all you can see is red for several seconds. When the blast clears, you see Smither sailing through the air, his unconscious body still crackling with purple energy. Then he smashes into the roof of a nearby train stop, effectively taken out of the battle. Okay, we don't have any fucking super crazy wizard. Yeah, but then you also laced it with super infini bouncing. Okay. Alright, maybe that wasn't the best choice then. But it got resolved. It got resolved. That wasn't how I expected that to look. Huh. Alright. Ah. Maybe I have it wrong. We are in immense control over our powers now. And we know how to properly apply and use them instead of just going hog wild and ballistic with them? Okay. Okay. Alright. Sure. Finally taking Smither down feels amazing, especially with all these Hero Project cameras capturing it live for the world to see. But your mission isn't over yet. You survey the scene to see where you're needed next. Hmm. 3-on-1 versus Kulik, Wintry and Stage Show versus Little Jagged. The Crush versus Clef, Summit versus Scoundrel. Black Magic versus Kulik's Weapon Engineer. I think the Fame Monster wants to be here, now, and instead of with anyone else. I think he wants to be there, more so than anything else. What matters? Besides, jury? Fucking useless, right? You were pissed that those two got assigned the most prestigious task alongside Rebellion, who claimed it was a reward for their near-flawless Hero Project performance records. But you know this is Rexford, and the show placing their top assets front and center. Which is fine, since you're about to join them. The trio is across the rail yard where a crumbling tower still half stands. They've been fighting their way through a mini-army of anti-powers and other deformed followers. It appears Kulik's philosophies on outcasts rising are shared by much more than just his Infra-Order inner circle. Besides, after the anti-gangs in the Splice Circle disbanded thanks to you, all those people had to find someplace to belong. While you were occupied with Smither, Rebellion and Herod and Jury managed to take down the entire mini-army, which is annoyingly impressive. They now charge towards the tower, where Kulik and his weapon must be holed up. You fly to join their ranks, joined by Wintry and the Crush. The others missing must still be mid-battle, or taken down already. As the Hero Project finalists approach the tower, Kulik appears at the top window terrace. "Look at you puffed-up heroes thinking you can stop me," Kulik Buzz shouts. "But I do not stand alone. I stand for all the broken and downtrodden, the forgotten and discarded. To stop me is to ignite the fire that burns within them twice as hot. It does not matter what you do, because now that my weapon has finally been powered to launch, all of MC will know what it's like to be deformed, and there will be no more outsiders. Think of how glorious it will be when we're all the same, all animalistic, all united by one common scar. All those souls lost in our attacks will find renewed purpose, as their sacrifice will give power to..." While Kulik was playing to the cameras, he didn't even notice Rebellion crouching, leaping into the air, his super strong legs launching him up to Kulik. Caught off guard, Kulik shuts up and slashes forward with his proboscis. Rebellion twirls around to strike midair, then grabs Kulik by the neck and rips him off the balcony. Kulik unfurls his mosquito wings as Rebellion pulls him down. The Rebellion slams him into the tower head first, disorienting. The Rebellion spins so that Kulik is pinned underneath him. Helpless and buzzing, Kulik can do nothing to stop Rebellion from driving him to the ground. As the pile driver lands, you actually wince at the sound of the sickening squish. Standing up and dusting himself off, Rebellion then turns to the nearest camera and says, "Anyone else have any grand ideas they want to try out?" Slugger. It looks like there was a reason Kulik and his Infra-Order stayed on the run, away from direct confrontations. Because Rebellion just took Kulik down during his grand fucking villainous speech at about 10 seconds flat. The American public needed to show a powered strength to prove they're in safe hands. They just fucking received it. "Now let's see about shutting down that tin can of his," Rebellion says, running towards the tower. After fucking pile driving Kulik. You all follow Rebellion up through the tower, hoping that you're not too late. The last thing you need is to suddenly grow gills or a snout or something. When you get to the top floor, you find Black Magic standing there with a smile on her face. That's probably because a woman lies unconscious at her feet. A woman you can only assume is the mysterious engineer behind Kulik's bioweapon. She isn't an animalistic powered, but rather some kind of tech hybrid. Underneath the golden tunic she wears, she has coiled mechanic wings jutting out of her back that are covered with dozens of different gadgets, upgrades, and inventions. Seeing the winged engineer lying there is also quite a relief. All those mentions of a mysterious tech genius couldn't help but bring Prodigal to your mind, even though you knew that couldn't possibly be true. "Meet Splicina, Black Magic says, the engineer of Kulik's bioweapon for animalistic hybridization, and the illegal life force sourcing specialist who I've been hunting for my entire career." Black Magic turns to the nearest camera orb, gearing up for her next line. "I may have turned to Splicina for help designing the transmission system for my life force channeling powers early in my career, but I'm proud to be able to right some past wrongs and capture this dangerous criminal. There must be zero tolerance for life force sourcing. and I'll be the first to step forward and save it. Well, that little public service announcement couldn't have lined up more perfectly for Black Magic. The Hero Project must have figured out splicing his connection to Black Magic before this mission, and arranged for this little showing. A lot like your own showdown with Smither. Which is also why I've already taken the steps to decommission Kulik and splicing its bioweapon. Behind Black Magic, the bioweapon lies dormant. It's an intricately interlocked, glowing combination of parts that looks not entirely unlike a giant needle. Please hold all applause until the end of the show, Black Magic says, bowing with a grin on her face. All things considered, this mission has gone flawlessly. I guess the solo team hybrid thing isn't so bad, though you do wish you were able to have a bit more. But that thought freezes in your mind as you see a broken-bodied Kulik appear in the window beside Rebellion, his proboscis pointed directly at his neck. I was thinking in retrospect that maybe we should have gone with Black Magic, right? You know, first there's like the tech person. It makes sense that the tech person also would have been by this crazy weapon, yeah? We could have been here and maybe gotten some of the rub off of this too. Oh well. The faint monster has no time to reflect. There's no time to stop Kulik, and even if there was, you couldn't risk using your powers in quarters this close, not with the entire Hero Project roster inside. So you do the only thing you can think of. You call out the one name you know will stop Kulik in his tracks. The one you saw in that picture frame in Kulik's room. From Speedy's... Are you fucking kidding me? What? 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 Okay. Do 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 do. I'm going to have to look at my video. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at my previous video. I certainly don't fucking remember. And I never even thought of writing that down. This fucking story